Willie Mosconi. Willie? Now, we're going to get to each of these gentlemen in just a moment because Willie was shaking his head saying, no, the movie was not indeed made about Minnesota Fats, but we'll let him explain that. And in the meantime, let me quickly explain what we're going to be seeing during the course of this competition. 5 forms of pocket billiards: 9-ball, 8-ball, rotation, straight pool, and 1 pocket. Each will be explained at the appropriate time. Now, Fats, you came up, you had something to say, and earlier you told me you're going to rob Willie. What do you mean?
That's exactly right, and what else I'm going to tell you is Willie's over there shaking his head, and you got in your pocket 3 months before the movie ever came out. Willie was interviewed just like he's being interviewed last night and today and last year and last week, and he said that they was going to expose me as a pool hustler, the greatest pool hustler in the world. You got it in the very words right there. You can read it out to the people. And it said that the real Minnesota Fats is none other than New York Fats, known better as New York Fats. There it is in that joint. Now, Willie been telling people that I ain't the one. Well, who was they gonna, if they wasn't describing me in a movie, The Hustler, why didn't they make a movie about Willie? I'd have racked the balls.
All right, so much for Fats's position. I said there was apparent open hostility. Come back here, Fats. Let's turn to Willie. Your rejoinder.
Well, all I can say is a gentleman by the name of Walter Tevis out in Ohio, pardon me, Howard, that wrote the book, and in the book he states that it's a fictional story. So now what would you say?
Were you a consultant to the film?
I was on it for 4.5 months.
All right, we've established the grudge between the two men. However, unwittingly, we...
This time I seen Gleason in Miami. After the movie, he sit there, he says, Fatty, did they take care of you? I wind up with all the cash in the show. They have done all the work. I wound up with all the gold.
All right, you're going to get your chance now. It's the showdown match. Fats against Willie Mosconi. The first competition, 9-ball. The 2 players will flip for break. Let's go.
Now, if you want to
Diamond shape rack, 9-ball, best of 9 in the series, and they're even arguing about what to wear.
When I played polo, I didn't play no evening or tie. Cool. That's for monkeys, a pool player with a tuxedo. Now, here's a question. I told him at the Commodore, a pool player with a tuxedo is like putting ice cream on a hot dog. We know you're
Leslie Jacobs, one of the promoters, trying to officiate the squabble.
You understand? I let everybody make the rules, because I'm going to win anyhow.
Why don't we have it out on the floor?
Yeah, right. And after it's over, we'll play some.
All right, Willie agrees. There'll be no wearing of coats. We'll be back for the start in just a moment.
Go play ping pong with a tuxedo on.
Johnny, want to get in the seat, please?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Well, I got to sit down, too. Right. That's why you needed a flip gun and a gas mask. We didn't have no evening attire. Just sit down. When I played in Istanbul for the Sultan, this is how I...
All right, now a little quiet.
Okay, Mr. Mosconi.
Okay, Willie's about to break. Remember, I said they'll be playing 5 different forms of pool. They begin with 9-ball, and in effect, the first one to win 3 of the types is the victor.
9?
9 anytime, Fats, as long as you call it.
But I got to do the 1, you call the 1, the 2, the 2. That's the way they play 9-ball in Siberia. In Siberia, they play 9-ball, you shoot.
Just to clarify that little exchange, Willie Mosconi set the rules. Fats said he didn't care. He'd play by whatever rules Willie set. And now Fats is learning the rules for the first time. And the key rule is you have to call your shot. Now, that shot was not called, so the ball will come back. You have to hit the balls in rotation, of course. The 1 first, the 2 second, and so on up. But combinations are allowed. So here we go.
Try to bank it.
Well, it looks like he's going to try to bank the 2-ball, and we should take a look at the way he's going to try to make that shot.
Bank the 2-ball.
That's it. Nope. 2-ball goes into the wrong pocket, so up it comes.
Huh? One shot on? Or try to hit it? Try to hit it. No. Well, if you try to hit it, you can't call none. You just hit it. That's all. We're going to be here all night anyhow. Boy, it's a rain. I ain't going no place. Just cancel my reservation.
Sit down, Fats.
Fats's confusion, as I mentioned, over the rules is
2-ball,
because he
corner
didn't even want the explanation in advance. On his game.
Yeah, you know why I lose? Because I wanted to lose that one. So I lay 1,000 to 1. It's a nickel you call tail.
How do you like Fats?
Get up here, bring some cash.
Says he wanted to lose the toss. Tactical purposes, I suppose. In the meantime, he trails 1-0 in the overall competition. $15,000 going to the winner. And the 9-ball competition has been won by Willie Mosconi 5-3. A break. Okay. Both balls that went down must be spotted under the rules, which were made by Willie Mosconi, and Fats has had difficulty understanding them as the competition has been going along.
Right, Willie. Like old times, we're saying hello and goodbye and how are you? 1904, me and Willie played one for a coffee cake. And he's been mad at me ever since. I wound up with the cake.
Yeah, I want up with your money, too.
I know you did. After this is over, stay a while.
Yeah, how about now?
No, I'll tell you what, now we'll play a little one pocket 500.
No, we'll play the rest of the match for anything you
I
want to
can't
play
stand it when you're making the rules.
for. Anything you want to play for. You got back where you get the money.
Back, I got nothing
Well, how
but
much
money.
you want to bet?
Play you some 1,000 a game.
No, how much you want to bet on the remembrance match?
Oh, what are you kidding or what? This is a carousel.
Oh,
Are you kidding?
You want to bet on a specific
I want to play you some one snatch for 1,000 a game. Here.
I want to play you 100 points for 100,000 a game.
I wouldn't play 100 points if you played me 199.
Sit down.
I'll tell you now, play some banks or some bank every other ball. That's half straight pool, half bank.
All right, let's finish the 8
And
ball.
don't no monkeys get no ideas because I'm the toughest of the earth. You don't know the rest of the story on earth. I whipped every son of New York 100 times, and he knows it. New York and Philadelphia and anywhere else, so don't get no funny ideas.
Come on, Fats. Sit down. Let's finish this one off.
I never see one like me. I fought in 2 revolutions and went down on 2 ships in the middle of the ocean.
Let's finish this,
I
Fats.
never see one like me.
I better get down there, straighten this thing out, get the pool started.
Yeah, come on, Pat, sit down. How about
Fatty.
you gonna let this go on?
Fats, get back in the seat.
Okay. Now here's one of his countrymen.
Let's go. Come on.
Come on, this is an Ali operation.
Okay.
Let's go. Sit down.
Let's go.
Be a good boy.
Let's go, man.
You know, part of the hostility between these two men derives from the motion picture entitled The Hustler. In that picture, Jackie Gleason played a character named Minnesota Fats. Fats contends that he was the source of the character. Willie Mosconi was a consultant on the picture. He contends that the picture derives from a book, and the author stated the characters were fictional, and that the character played by Gleason bears no resemblance in fact or real life to the man at whom you're looking, Minnesota Fats, who is in the process of running out the ring ball. There lies the domicile of 64-year-old Willie Mosconi, 16 times world champion of pocket billiards, a quiet, sedate man, absorbed with bringing dignity to his profession. He lives quietly with his wife and daughter. But in Dowell, Illinois, 2 hours south of St. Louis, Missouri, there lives a different kind of man. A man of flash and color, garrulous, willing to take on anyone with words and in pool. Even his license plate tells you about him. MF stands for this man, Minnesota Fats. Incredibly, 2 years ago suffered a stroke, was declared dead. He and Mosconi don't like one another, and it goes back a long way.
Well, back in 1949, I believe was the last time I saw him. At that time, I was managing a billiard room in Philadelphia. And he was one of the customers of the place. He was hustling cards and doing anything he could around the place to make a dollar. So finally, he ran out of customers, and he chose me. I said, get away from me. Don't bother me. I was happy that he was making a dollar and paying the room rent. So finally, he got so obnoxious that I had to play him. Now, I played him 5 games of his game, which I don't know anything about to this day, one pocket, and I beat him 5 games for $50 a game.
See, if the truth is known, Willie Mosconi and them trying to expose me as the greatest pool player in the world, which I always was and still am, for money.
Whenever he played anybody that could play of any note, he always lost.
I played Istanbul, a terrible Turk. He ain't been terrible since. I played Happy the Chinaman in Hong Kong, and he ain't been happy since.
He always tried to keep thinking up different games, that the other player didn't know about, and he would have the knowledge, and that's how he managed to win here and there.
The last time I was in New York, I had over $30,000 in cold cash, and I put it on the table to play Willie Mosconi. If he wanted to play it, I played him, or anybody else that wanted to play, but they ain't going to put up no cash. They're going to finally, after like 16 hours, they're going to get 15 sponsors and play one for like 200.
Well, he's always telling stories like that. No such thing ever happened. In fact, I challenged him about 3 years ago, and we arranged the ballroom of the Sheraton Hotel in Philadelphia for 4 days. We sent him an airmail registered letter telling him the date 6 weeks in advance. I was there that night, but he didn't show.
I get $1,200 if I cough twice. So I'm going to play some pool, $60 a game, $40 a game. Mosconi wants to play something for $2 a game, $2 a game. He wants to play 3,000 points.
You're the money player, I'm going to tell him. Let's go.
So far, Willie's proving his point. He's won the 9 ball. He leads in the 8 ball.